Welcome back to Gaming Night. I'm your host, G.A.M.E.R here, and today, welcome to our 2023 video game tier list. That's right. It is officially the end of the year, December 19th at the time of recording this, and every game that I plan on playing has officially come out. And I think it's about time we finally do our 2023 video game tier list. Obviously, these are always really fun. These are not to hate on games, not to, go to war with console wars. This is just my personal, where I found the tiers of enjoyment for all these games. That's really what it is. And I have went ahead and decided that this is going to be all completely biased, as I think they should be. This is going to be completely my personal opinion. I'm not going to try and speak objectively, I think this game's better, so I'm going to put it higher. Nah, if I enjoyed it more, I enjoyed it more. That's just how it is. I'm not trying to down any game. I will give my thoughts on all these games as we go. I'm actually gonna go ahead and randomize a bunch of these ones real quick before we get into it, because I'm gonna just make sure it's nothing's weird. But yeah, I mean, obviously this year has been just an absolutely amazing year for video games. Some consider it to possibly be the best we've ever had. I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I definitely it's up there. It's up there for sure. I mean, I have my thoughts. It definitely is one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. I don't know. It's really up for debate. I think in terms of quantity, as you'll see, is definitely the best year ever we've had for games. In terms of quality, though, it's still up there. But for me personally, in terms of my were there some of my favorite games of all time this year? No, not necessarily. But still, there are definitely a lot of great games to be had this year. So let's go ahead and let's get to it. We do have quite a bit of tiers because this is going to be pretty complex here. We have favorite, which are just my favorite. And I'm only going to put games in this tier if they cracked, if I would consider it now one of my favorite games of all time. One of those, probably top 25. If it cracked my top 25 games of all time, then I'm going to put it in that tier. That's how it was really special to me. But otherwise, if I think it was a masterpiece, I think it was just a great game, but wouldn't say it's in my favorite games of all time. Amazing, obviously, if I thought the game was amazing. Good, okay, mid, and trash. And then we have ones that I haven't played, but I do plan on playing, or I'm, just haven't gotten around to, but I do want to play, or I think look good. And then games I just didn't play, I wasn't interested, or I just skipped out on. So, yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's get started. That's a terrible one to start on. That's also terrible. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and start with Mortal Kombat 1. So, man, I'm a huge NetherRealm fan. I mean, they're in my top 5 favorite studios of all time. Anytime they release a game, it's automatically one of my most anticipated games. I typically just enjoy their fighting games the most out of every fighting game. And Mortal Kombat 1 was not really an exception. I personally think it's quite amazing. I do have a huge issue with all the microtransactions and all that stuff, and some of the customization within the game, but I cannot deny it is so fun to play. It is visually stunning. The story mode was stellar, and I love all the characters. Has one of the best rosters we've gotten in a long while, in my opinion. It's just overall, I think, an amazing Mortal Kombat game, an amazing fighting game in general. Dead Island 2. Ooh, man, this is an interesting one because I did have fun with this game, and I continue to have fun with this game when I play it, but it's either good or okay. I'm going to let you know right now. I don't think it was amazing in any way, but I did have a lot of fun with it. I do think it's a good game. I'm not going to lie with you. I think it's a good game, and the truth of the matter is I just had a lot of fun. That's really all there is to it. I just had a lot of fun, especially since I was playing it with a friend. It was just really good, causing a bunch of chaos and just doing things that Dead Island does. And that's the thing. I didn't expect this game to be anywhere near the top 2 tiers. It could have been amazing. Any game could be amazing. And truthfully, any game could be a masterpiece. But I didn't expect it to be these two, and I didn't really expect it to be this either. I expected just more of what I loved from the original Dead Island, and that's pretty much what I got with it. And I think it was a good sequel that just gave us more of what we enjoyed out of the first one. Could there have been things that make it a lot better? Yes, definitely. But I think for what it is, it's a fun 20 to 25 hours, especially if you play with a friend and love zombies. I think it does its job almost perfectly. But definitely was not one of the best games of the year. That's 100% sure. Speaking of one of the best games of the year, this one's kind of cheating because, truthfully, it was already a masterpiece before this remaster came out. And this is just a remastered. Metroid Prime Remastered. That's right. It is a game that was in my most wanted games ever. I wanted them to remaster the original so bad because if you don't know, Metroid is my favorite Nintendo franchise of all time. One of my favorite franchises, period, of all time. Metroid Dread being one of my favorite, my second favorite Switch game. Metroid Dread being in my top 20 game, maybe even top 10 games of all time. So just the thought of Metroid Prime, me being able to actually play it, just made me so excited. And they shadow dropped it, and yeah, it was just as good as I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites because I do think I actually prefer the 2D Metroid over 3D, which I know that's going to be a kind of a hot take, but I really do love Metroid Prime, though. I thought it was just, again, just like all the other Metroid games I've played, from start to finish, so invested, so in love, so much fun. Absolutely a masterpiece, 100%. Just all the puzzles, the combat, everything. Masterpiece, man. Absolute masterpiece. And another game I'm going to go ahead and put in masterpiece. I think this is one of the best Street Fighters we've ever gotten. Low-key, Street Fighter 6 is... It just took everything to a new level, and it made everything so fun. Now, the only critique I have for this game is also microtransactions, just like Mortal Kombat 1. But I do think if we're looking at it from a gameplay perspective, character perspective, visual perspective, it is best in class when it comes to fighting games. Of course, Street Fighter has phenomenal music as well. Oof. Hold on. I think I might move it down. I'm moving it to amazing. I just remembered how much I actually did not like the story mode. I really did not care for the single player mode. I thought it was honestly quite hard to get through. I was just not feeling it at all. So I honestly can't believe but that just tells you how good the core game is and everything else about the game is, because I completely forgot about all that because the rest of the game is so dang good that I kind of just forgot about it. But now I think about it, it did really lack in the story mode single player department. So I'm going to have to knock it to amazing. But still, nonetheless, a lot of the aspects of the game are best in class when it comes to fighting games. Definitely top tier, 100%. Forspoken. Oh, man. What a rip in the chat, dude. What a rip in the chat. I was so excited for this game, dude. This was one of my most anticipated games coming into the year. And it was just a flop. It was a flop. No, it's got to be trash. It's got to be trash. I'm sorry, dude. The problem is, when I played of it, it wasn't god-awful to the point where it was just the worst game ever, but it was just very boring. And it's really sad because there's so much potential with this game. Everything that the game has, there's so much potential to it. I love the look of it, love all the animations and everything, but it only goes so far when you're not actually having fun playing it, and that's kind of what it was. It was just really boring, and I did not like it whatsoever, unfortunately. So, yeah, I do think it was quite trash. Wild Hearts, man. I also kind of had fun with this one. Unfortunately, it has now, they have stopped supporting it, unfortunately, which kind of downs it, but I'm trying. I did really have fun. I thought they introduced a lot of cool ideas with the whole building and stuff with that. I mean, it was basically Fortnite mixed with Monster Hunter. It was pretty much what it was. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know. That's tough. I'm between good and okay. I'm gonna go okay just because I would prefer playing Dead Island over Wild Hearts, and I do think I had more fun playing Dead Island. I played more of Dead Island as well. Yeah, I'm going to go okay. Truly, I think it was just it was a fun game. I mean, see, but that's the thing. I do kind of want to say it is a good game. Like it was a good game, but like when I put it on the good tier is that's tough. That really is. I'm gonna put it good because truthfully, I do think it was a good game. I do think it is a good game. I don't think it's bad in any sense of the manner. I just it never wowed me. It never like made me addicted. It was just fun to play. It was good. So yeah, I am gonna go good. I think I was being a little harsh there. Rocky City, Crime Boss Rocky City. I'll be honest, I didn't play, but I did want to play, but I've heard awful things about it. So I don't know if I ever will. It's not on my backlog. It's just a game I'm never gonna get around to, unfortunately, because but I've heard pretty bad things about it. Cereza Lost Demon, also a game I probably will just never play, mainly because I don't really care. I wasn't a huge fan of Bayonetta 3. If a Bayonetta 4 happens, I'll happily play it. I'd be really excited for it, but this game came out like not even 6 months after 3, and I wasn't even the biggest fan of 3, and it completely changed the game. I mean, it looks pretty, like the visuals are cool, but it's just like it was just a game that we did not really need. I don't know why, like nobody asked for it, and it kind of flopped sales wise. It didn't get like the greatest reviews. It got some pretty solid reviews. But they launched it at $60 for a spinoff that's nothing like the actual series that no one wanted, and I was just like, nah, I can't. And yeah, unfortunately, it did not perform well at all. I mean, in Japan, it's a Japanese game, and in Japan, it sold pretty much nothing. So yeah, that's rough. But yeah, that's just a game I did not play. Super Mario RPG, man. So here's the thing. I think in terms of like how I see the quality of the game, I'm not talking like objectively, just like if I think it's a good game, I think it's a good game. But I think it's an amazing game. But the thing is, and I'm kind of contradicting myself from earlier, the favorite tier is games that I would say cracked my like top 25 of all time. Mario RPG didn't necessarily do that, but it's 100% one of my favorite Mario games of all time. I enjoyed every second I played of this game. It was such a blast. It was such a journey that I absolutely loved. I do think it's a master. Well, see, that's really it. I just contradicted what I said. I don't know. But I am going to go favorite. Whether it's a masterpiece or amazing, I really can't tell. I'm not one to like objectively speak on what is a masterpiece or what's amazing. I have my thoughts, but it is one of my favorite Mario games of all time. And honestly, one of my favorite games of the year. I would play it over like 90% of all the other games. So I would 100% say it was one of my favorite games of the year, and I'm so glad I finally got to play it. I'm glad they remade it because I think it deserved it, and I think they did a really, really good job with it. Just the combat, the gameplay, and the visuals are so good. The music is so good, but for me, the best part about it was 100% the story. I did not think I would fall in love with so many characters in that game. And I would even cry at the end. I mean, it was truly one heck of a journey that I just absolutely loved from start to finish. Minecraft Legends, that is on my backlog. I do plan on playing this eventually. I've heard some pretty solid things about it. It seems like a really cool idea as well. I typically can somewhat enjoy those types of games. So I do plan on playing it eventually and checking it out for myself, but I have not played it yet. Octopath Traveler, it's just an amazing game, man. I mean, Octopath 1 was great. Octopath 2 kind of just doubled down on everything and made it even better. Octopath Traveler 2, amazing game. Enough said. If you haven't played those games, please go do it. It's like one of Square Enix's only bangers, low-key, outside of Final Fantasy. But Starfield. If you guys don't know, this was my most anticipated game of all time. I've never been more excited for a video game than Starfield. Where do I put it, man? And the thing is, it did not live up to my expectations whatsoever. I know exactly where I'm going to put it. And let me just preference, I'm an Xbox guy, okay? I am an Xbox guy. I love all three platforms equally in my opinion. I mean, look at this. I have two Nintendo games at the top at the moment. I mean, come on now. But I would consider myself, if I had to choose one, I would choose Xbox, but I truthfully love all games equally. This is not me trying to do the console wars or hating on Xbox tax, whatever. I don't care. I truly just think it was a good game. I think I've had this conversation with multiple friends. It does so much good, but it does so much mid at the same time that at the end of the day, I'm really happy I played it once. I don't really ever see myself going back to it unless the DLC looks really, really cool. It was just a really good playthrough, and that's as far as I got, honestly. Truthfully, what the game has done, though, is out of this world, so much more. But in terms of my enjoyment of the game, I would say it was just good. Especially when I enjoyed a lot of other Xbox games way more than Starfield. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Another amazing game, in my opinion. Again, I got really addicted to it for a little while. The design, the look of the game was really cool. Boss fights are great. Combat was just amazing. I remember I played the demo and I was so wowed by it. I was like telling everybody, I'm like, if this game comes out and is as good as the demo, will be one of the best games of the year. It wasn't quite one of the best games of the year, but it was so freaking fantastic. I loved every second of it. I really need to finish it. And I will probably do that soon, low-key. Final Fantasy 16. Pretty easy, once again. Another amazing game. By the way, I'm not gonna rank everything like in order. Like I'm not gonna put Final Fantasy at the top of amazing or at the bottom. I'm just adding to the tier because I'm not trying to compare and rank things. If you enjoy the game, you enjoy the game. You shouldn't have to depend on what others think of other games. Enjoy the game you want to enjoy. Play your way. But yeah, Final Fantasy. I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. The characters are just incredible. The boss fights are some of the best this year and just games in general have had ever. The music is, of course, Final Fantasy. Come on now. Combat, it was very good. It was very good. I wish the combat was a little bit better, but for what we got, I think it was really good. The only thing keeping it from Masterpiece is honestly about 2/3 of the way in, it kind of slows down. It kind of loses. I don't know. It kind of got me very unengaged with it. It kind of made me sort of uninterested, and I still haven't finished it because it kind of just drops off really hard in my opinion, and it lacks the grip to keep on playing. But when you do play it, it is just an absolutely great time. And it does a lot of really good things. So, yeah, for sure would put it in amazing. Forza Motorsport. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to go good. I mean, look, I'm not the biggest racing fan. Forza Horizon, if we're talking about Forza Horizon, oh, we're cooking. But Forza Motorsport, I've never truly been the biggest fan of, and so, it's really hard for me to rank this, but I had fun for what I played. I haven't played very much, but what I have played, it is very fun. It again, Turn 10 Studios just kills it every single time with every Forza game, and they continue to be the highest quality in their respected genre. Yeah, just another good entry for the Forza Motorsport series. Like a Dragon, Gaiden, Man Who Erased His Name. I've heard great things, have not played it. I do plan on playing it, and especially now that they just added English dub. So excited. Love Kiryu. Best Yakuza character out there. One of the best characters in general. Can't wait for Infinite Wealth as well. That should be a really good time. Redfall. I'm going to put it mid. All right, listen. It launched terribly. And it needed so much work, and unfortunately is a flop and was a disappointment. I'm not denying that 100%. But when I played the game, I had a hint of fun. I found it fun to a very little extent. Okay? And I think with a lot of updates and a lot of new content, that game could end up becoming pretty good. I can't say we'll get there, but I'm not going to say it's trash because I truly don't think it's trash. I just think at the moment it is not very great. But I think with the right, if it has a Sea of Thieves turnaround, I think Redfall could be something special. But as of right now, it is quite mid. It is quite mid at the moment. Party Animals. I actually haven't played it, but I've heard so many great things about it, and I think it'd be really fun to play. Hi-Fi Rush. Masterpiece, in my opinion. Absolute masterpiece. Tango Gameworks tried something different. They went for a little, experimental, unique, smaller project, and man, did it pay off. It is just an absolute banger from start to finish. I mean, headbanger, too, with all the great music. Hi-Fi Rush, absolutely incredible. One of the best games I played this year. It is in my Game of the Year conversation. Just an absolutely incredible game. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I didn't really play. I did plan on playing it at one point, but never really got around to it. And now I really don't really have any interest to play it. Sorry, Kirby. Spider-Man 2. Amazing game. Just absolutely another amazing game. I still like the original PS4 2018 Spider-Man better. But I think Spider-Man 2 does almost everything better than the other two Spider-Man games, except story. I think story is the only part that Spider-Man 2 does worse, and that's going to keep me from putting it a masterpiece. And that's what keeps me from liking the first one better. I just found myself way more emotional and attached to the story in the first one. And given how the first game came out, there was no Miles, there was no, it was the first game, so you could easily say, well, it can't be better because they added way more content and fighting and combat stuff in the second one. Yeah, but you have to think at the time it was the first game. I still do believe the first one is a masterpiece, and I don't think this one is. So, take that how you will. But nonetheless, it has some incredibly high moments. Venom is just absolute standout. Kraven, I think, is a standout. The side quests are a standout. Some of the boss fights are a standout. Like Sandman was a huge standout. Just really, really great game. I so loved every second, really. Liza P. This is where my personal is going to kick in, and I know everybody's going to be so mad at me. I think it was okay. That's the thing. I don't think it's a bad game whatsoever, okay? Let me just preference that. I do not think Liza P was a bad game whatsoever. I'm not saying, part of me wants to put it good because I do believe it is a good game. Problem is it came out in such a busy time with video games, so many releases, and it kind of just didn't grab me. It just didn't grab me. It didn't get me hooked. I remember playing and be like, yo, this atmosphere is awesome. I really love the idea of this game. What I've played was, it was fun. It was just like your everyday Souls, but nothing felt like I needed to play this game when I was playing it. I was kind of just like, okay, yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. I'm probably going to pass out just because there's a lot of other games that I would rather play. That's really all it came down to. It was nothing with the quality of the game that made me not enjoy it. It was just, I just don't think it was personally for me. And before you say, oh, you just don't like Souls game, it was a skill issue. I've played almost every other Soul game, and I've beaten 2 of them. I loved Elden Ring. I love Souls games. I've played Souls games that aren't even from software, like Wolong, that I literally put in amazing, okay? Come on now. So, It truly just was. I just was not personally the biggest fan of Lies of P. Nothing to do with the actual quality of the game. I'm so happy for its success and how many people have loved it. That's so awesome to see. But for me, I don't know. It just wasn't one of my favorites whatsoever. Nothing wrong with that. Assassin's Creed Mirage. I think it was pretty good. I think, again, about halfway through the game, it really drops off. It kind of becomes very repetitive and start not having as great of a time. But I'm so glad they went back to the classic formula. It reminds me of just how actually stinking good Assassin's Creed is when it's, good. And I really love the ending. I love the start. I love some of the story beats. Love the combat, of course. Visually, it's one of the best, if not the best, Assassin's Creed out there. Just absolutely fun game. I mean, yeah, it's a fun game. If you like Assassin's Creed, you'll like it. Facts. And overall, I think it was just a good game. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Once again, I do think it was just a good game. I think it was fun, but it wasn't anything that I necessarily loved. I think that's what it is. And that's really all these games in that list. I think it was fun. It was really good. I enjoyed myself. I would recommend. But I wouldn't say I love any of these games. Whereas the ones up here, I would say I love these games. I think they are great games. But these are just really, really good games. And that's exactly how I feel about Armored Core 6. Sonic Superstars, not going to play. It looked pretty bad to me personally. I just did not find it very interesting at all. And I've heard mixed things. But, if you like Sonic, let me know. How was it? I'd be very curious. Dead Space Remake, man. Ooh, dude. Okay, well, it's obviously going in Masterpiece because, Dead Space was already a masterpiece. Thing is it one of my favorites, though, before a certain game came out, it was my game of the year. But I wasn't always so confident in that. Because it wasn't that definitive game of the year. It was just the game that I felt like I had the most fun playing throughout the whole year. But it wasn't a definitive game of the year, and I wouldn't say it's near my top 25 of all time. I don't even know if I would say it's in my top 30. It might be top 40 maybe, but at that point it's not even. It shouldn't go up here. I do think it's just it is a masterpiece. It's freaking Dead Space, and the remake just makes it even better, which is so hard to do, but they did it. I'm gonna keep it at masterpiece. I do really think it wasn't just an absolute masterpiece, man. So much fun. I'm actually playing it through a second time on my ROG Ally that I got for Black Friday. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Remnant 2. I've heard great things, but I have not played it. But I do plan on playing it with a friend of mine, Christian. Christian, if you're watching this, let's get it going. Let's run it. We can also play with Clay because he now has it as well. So let's get it. Starfield's on here twice. Love to see it. We're gonna put that back. Actually, no. This Starfield is a masterpiece. Actually, this is the Starfield we wanted. Okay. RoboCop Rogue City. Have not played it, but I do plan on playing it. I've heard really great things as well. Yeah. From what I've heard, it's just a really good RoboCop experience. It's really all I want out of it, and it's all I expect, really. So, yeah. We'll definitely check that one out. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, another amazing game that releases here, just made the first game, which was already amazing, even better. I wouldn't quite put it on the masterpiece level. I think the consistency and the pacing just needs a little bit of work. It needs a little bit more of a emotional beats. I think this one definitely had more emotional beats and some higher moments than the first one. But I still wouldn't quite put it. I think it's still missing that jump up to masterpiece level. But I think it's almost there. I think it's so close. I think it's on the right track. Whatever this third game is that I know they're working on, I have a feeling it could crack that. I really do think it could crack that masterpiece level, and I really hope it does because I do really love the Jedi series. Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor have just been so freaking awesome. Debatably some of the best Star Wars games we've ever gotten. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It's It's gotta be mid. I'm sorry. It's gotta be kind of mid. I had a little bit of fun playing multiplayer with my cousin. The zombies, I think, is trash in my opinion. I know some people have actually really enjoyed the zombies. Zombies is trash. Campaign is trash. But the multiplayer is fun. The multiplayer is fun, but it does have a lot of weak points, like the maps. The maps are terrible. The progression system's terrible. I wouldn't say it's awful. It's like Redfall. There's that hint of fun, but it's just missing so much from keeping it anywhere near an okay or good game. That's really all it is. Cocoon! This is one I have on my backlog. I want to play this game so bad. It won Best Indie Game. I really want to play this game, man. I've heard so many great things. It looks so cool. Oh, dude, I really need to get to this game. I really do. I don't know why this one's on here. It's such a random game. Like, what? I mean, it's Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which is like kind of like a Jet Set Radio, like in spirit kind of game. But I'm not gonna play that. Alan Wake 2. Oh yeah. All right. So, if you've not watched any of my other videos where I've possibly talked about Alan Wake 2, also any of my like maybe 20 videos where I've talked about Alan Wake 2 at least once in it, Alan Wake 2, in my personal opinion, and as a consumer of the product, which is not even a product, it's an art, it is a form of art, Alan Wake 2 is the single greatest game I think I've ever played. I think if me personally looking at it from quality standpoint as an art form, I think it is the best game I have ever played. It has the best storytelling I have personally ever experienced. That being said, it is my third favorite game of all time because I do think my other two games are more fun to play. Returnal and Ghost of Tsushima are my top two games of all time. And I do find those more enjoyable to play. But I think if I'm looking at it from every other aspect of a game, I do think Alan Wake 2 is quite possibly the best game I've ever played. I truly, it is far more than a masterpiece. It is unbelievable what they were able to achieve with Alan Wake 2. And RIP to the voice actor of Alex Casey. He unfortunately just passed, which is so sad, but yeah, man, you did a great job at Alan Wake 2. The whole team at Remedy, you guys continue to deliver some of the absolute best single-player experiences out there. Keep up the good work. Can't wait for your next game. Immortals of Avium. I think it's a good game. Low-key, I would recommend it to people. I think it's a great game. I've had a lot of fun with it. I really do. I'm excited to keep on playing it. Yeah, I really do think it's a good game. That's really all I'm going to say about it. I think the first person shooting and all that with the combat is pretty fun. I think the premise is interesting, at least. Visually, it's a pretty decent game. Yeah, I think it's just a really, really good game. Lords of Fallen, I have not played, but I do plan on it. I do have it. I just have not actually played it. Again, it came out in October with all these other games coming out, so it was just really hard to get to it. Diablo 4, another amazing game that came out this year. Came out right around the same time as Final Fantasy. It came out the same day as Street Fighter, actually. And yeah, I just had so much fun with it. I can't wait to jump back in now that a lot of the problems have been fixed, I've heard. So yeah, I definitely can't wait to start up a new save file for that. Diablo 4. It's such an amazing game. Fire Emblem Engage, a game that I still have not played. Came out like right at the start of the year, and I still haven't played it. It is on my backlog. I do want to play it. Just I don't know when I'll get around to it, but I do want to eventually. Baldur's Gate 3, same thing. I know Baldur's Gate 3 is game of the year to a lot of people. But you know, I just haven't played it. Again, came out just bad time and only on PlayStation. So I don't know. I kind of just never got to it, but I do have it. And I do plan on playing it this winter break. It is now winter break. I do plan on playing it within the next 2 weeks. Resident Evil 4, another masterpiece. Just like Dead Space and just like Metroid Prime, they were already masterpieces, and the remakes just improved on it. I mean, it's Resident Evil 4, dude. I literally have a giant poster right here of Resident Evil 4. I mean, I freaking love it. I freaking love it, dude. It's so good. It's just so good. Yeah, that's really all I'm going to say. Like a Dragon Ishin. Eesh, I don't know. Honestly, it's between these two, actually. I think it's a really, really good. I'm gonna put it good. It's really fun. I'm gonna put it good because I think compared to all the other Yakuza games, which is saying this is just sounds wrong. It's one of the weakest Yakuza games. But even then, I think it's like an 8 out of 10. I think it's 8 or more out of 10, right? Like, it's still so good. That just tells you how good the Yakuza series is. Yakuza just never misses. They just never miss. They're so good. And yeah, I would definitely put them in good because I do think it's a really fun game. I do think it is on the weaker side in terms of Yakuza games. Only in terms of Yakuza games, which is still just amazing. Hogwarts Legacy, the highest selling game of the year. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think Hogwarts Legacy is better than all these games right here because I'm putting it amazing, bro. I'm saying it. I truly think what they have crafted here with the Harry Potter IP is something special. Like, I honestly, and I'm saying this, I kind of don't, I like aggressively do not like Hogwarts Legacy. Like, I'm not just, I know that kind of was weird saying. It's not that I go out to hate on Hogwarts, like on Harry Potter. See, what am I, bro? I can't speak. I'm losing it. Okay, I am not a fan of Harry Potter. And even then, this game somehow I had so much fun with, and this is a game that I want to go back to and kind of restart because I only got like halfway, and then I kind of just got busy with other games and other things in life, and so I never got back around to it. So now I kind of want to just go back and restart and replay it because it really was something special when I played it, and that's why I think it has to go in amazing because even non-Harry Potter fans love this game. It really is great, but I think it needs a lot of work done to make it, near the top of this list, I guess. And it needs a lot of changes, but at the end of the day, it is still a really, really, really great game, and they just did such a good job. And I heard Hogwarts Legacy 2 might be in development, so definitely look forward to that. Pikmin 4, I have not played, but it is at the top of my backlog. I do plan on playing it within the next 2 weeks. I just am super duper excited to play it. I've heard so many great things, and I really do like the Pikmin franchise. Haven't gotten into that one yet. So, yep. Persona 5 Tactica, again, another game I do plan on playing. Another game that kind of just came out like almost the same day or around the same time as Mario RPG, and I was so hooked on RPG, it just kind of haven't gotten to Tactica. I do plan on playing this one on the ROG Ally as well as Cocoon, and Minecraft Legends maybe. But yeah. Atomic Heart, it's okay. It was really, I think the visually it's great. The music is great. The combat is fun. It's fun, but it could use a lot of work. The problem is, it is so slow, and there's not a lot of exciting things that happen throughout the game, and the story is super inconsistent and super just not very exciting and not really gripping. It kind of just gets boring, and you feel like you're waiting forever for something exciting to happen, and yeah, that's kind of just how I felt with the game. Sea of Stars, I have not played, but I do plan on playing it because I've heard stellar things about it. And Mario Wonder. Ooh, man. Okay. This one's hard because I could see it here. But I could also see it here. I know that's really weird because, okay, I'm going to put it amazing because truthfully I do think that is what I think about the game. I think it's just a really great game. Oh, man, dude. That's tough. When I played it with friends, honestly, it was right here. I did not really have that great of a time playing with friends. Not due to the friends. The game is so too chaotic with friends. I just don't personally enjoy it with that many people. I think when I'm looking at it from quality, I think it's here. But I think my personal enjoyment, I think it's amazing. Because I'm personally looking at amazing at like 9 out of 10s or like maybe 8.5 out of 10s. And that's kind of what I'm around with Mario Wonder. Whereas like goods are like 7s or maybe a little bit higher, 6.5, stuff like that. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So I would put Mario Wonder, or no, good is like 8. I don't know. But it is a great game. I mean, come on now. Mario Wonder is it's so creative. It's so unique. It's different. I'm glad Nintendo allowed them to cook with this game. And I think it delivered on what everybody wanted out of it. Yeah. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. So, I actually just realized that I forgot to add a bunch of games to this list because I realized Tears of the Kingdom isn't here. So, I realized I forgot to add some of the games that I that I wanted to put on here. So, we're just going to go ahead and get through these. I know this video's been a bit long, but Atlas Fallen, I have yet to play, but is on my backlog. I do want to play it. I have it. I plan on playing it very, very soon. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Dude, Hot Wheels is just... It's just a different breed. I'm not gonna lie. Hot Wheels is just so fun. It doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to be incredible. I mean, the fact that it's on Forza Motorsports tier is hilarious, but it is. Like, it's so fun. It doesn't make any sense why it's so fun, but it is. And Hot Wheels, it just kills it. Payday 3, honestly. Unfortunately, I haven't played it since hopefully it's fixed, but it was broken, and honestly, it was kind of just... It was okay when I played it, but from what I've personally played of it, and from what I've just heard from others, kind of sounds mid. Lords of the Ring, Gollum, yeah, one of the worst games of the year, if not the worst. Ghost Runner 2. Ooh, man, this is a great game. I don't know if it's amazing or good. Man, Ghost Runner is still just so great. I'm gonna have to say amazing, dude. Ghost Runner is just... I'm going to put good. Yeah, I think it really is just... good. It's so fun. I mean, the first one was so good, too. It's so fun. It's just different. You're just on a rush every single time you play it. And it just really is a really fun game to play. WarioWare Move It. I have it, and I want to play with my family, but I just haven't gotten around to it. SpongeBob and the Cosmic Shake. All right, listen, guys. It was okay. Actually, yeah, it was okay. I enjoyed it for a little bit, but then it kind of just got repetitive, and you got what you got out of a SpongeBob 3D platformer, and that's really all I asked for. All I wanted was just a couple hours of good time with SpongeBob, and that's really all I got. So yeah, it was okay. Talos Principle 2, another game I do want to play because I've heard good things about it, and it looks really interesting. Just haven't gotten around to it. Disney Illusion Island, same thing. Looks really cool, but I haven't gotten around to it. Horizon Call of the Mountain, I think it's okay. I mean, it's really cool. From what I've played it at a friend's house. He let me try it out, and I played it for a while. And yeah, it was really cool from what I played, but I could definitely see why it is not loved by a lot. And honestly, same here. I think the idea and the concept was there. I just think they could have executed it way better than what it was. One Piece Odyssey, a game I did not play. I don't really plan on playing it, but I have heard really great things about it. It's like this open world, huge AAA One Piece game. So if you guys do like that stuff, if you like anime games in general, definitely go give it a try because I've heard great things. The Finals, I have not played, but I do plan on playing eventually. It's a really cool multiplayer game that I've heard a lot of good things about. Exo Primal. Honestly, a game again. I actually really enjoyed what I played. I played it on Game Pass, obviously, and I played like a couple good hours, and I really enjoyed my time, and I really want to play with it with some friends. It's something hopefully I can do soon. Yeah, just really, really good. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This game just came out. It's the game I'm currently playing through as we speak. And I'm not going to lie with you guys. I think it's pretty amazing. The story is very, very mid, I will say. The story is very mid. And I'm kind of getting annoyed because it's very difficult for no reason. like I said earlier, I've played so many Souls games. Difficulty is not my thing. Returnal is my second favorite game of all time. All right, difficulty is not a problem. Problem is, why is it in an Avatar game? Like, the first half of the game is pretty easy, and then all of a sudden the second half gets like incredibly hard for some reason, and it's kind of annoying. Like, just enemies like literally one-shot you at one point, and it's just like, what the heck is going on? And that's not really why I'm playing the Avatar game. So, it is kind of annoying, but visually, I'm going to say right now, visually, it is the best game to release in 2023. I said it. Hate me all you want. It is visually, in my opinion, the best looking game. Honestly, in a long time. I truly do think it is one of the best looking games ever. It might be. I'm gonna stop myself there. I was gonna say it might be one of the best games like of all time. Visually speaking, but truthfully, I'm loving my time with the game. I'm so looking forward to finishing it. Hopefully tonight, actually. We'll see. I don't know much longer I have left. But just an absolutely amazing game, man. From the get go, and yeah, I absolutely love every minute. Ravenlock. It was an okay game. It really lacked in the combat department and the story, but visually, again, it's really, really stunning. I love the art style that they went for, but truly the combat is very mid. The story was kind of mid. Music's music. So, yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, again, unfortunately, I can't believe I still haven't played this game. This game I want to play so bad. Whoops, did not mean to do that. It's a type of game I know I would love. I just have to actually play it. I have to get a group of friends together to actually play it, and that's kind of why I haven't done it, because I haven't gotten a group of friends to do it. But I do plan on it. Advance Wars Reboot Camp 1-2, don't plan on playing it, but I've heard some pretty solid things. I've heard a lot of people are just happy the series is back in general. Don't know if we'll ever get another one, but yeah, it's there. Meet Your Maker, actually a game that I thought was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to put it okay just because I didn't, really get attached to it. I didn't play a lot of it, but I thought it was neat. I thought it was neat that I played it for once, and I was like, yo, I really like the idea. I just don't know if I'll actually play it more. It was kind of just one of those games. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Here we go. All right, I'm going to save that one for last. Nickelodeon Brawl All-Star 2, I haven't played. Don't really plan on playing it, but I've heard it's actually really good. I've heard a lot of people say it's so much better than the first one, that it's honestly just a really, really good fighting game. So yeah, big props to that. But then Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now look, I don't think it comes as a shock to anybody. Many people believe this to be one of the best games of all time. Just like Baldur's Gate 3. Where is it? Baldur's Gate, right here. Baldur's Gate 3. But, and this is me, I completely agree. I do think it is one of the best games of all time. But it is nowhere near a game that I personally enjoy. Okay? I had fun with it. I'm going to put it in good. Okay? I had fun with it. The first 5 hours, I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it. And then the problem that I just cannot get on board with the new Zelda formula. I just can't do it. I love the linear, traditional, classic Zelda formula. Link's Awakening, which is like the top-down classic Zelda, is my favorite Zelda game. Wind Waker is my favorite 3D Zelda game. I just can't. I just don't really enjoy the open world formula with Zelda. I really don't, and that's really my only issue. I'm not downing the game's quality whatsoever. It's just my personal enjoyment. I personally find it just good. Visually it's great. Musically it's great. Story-wise, I'm sure it's great. Gameplay-wise, it's just not it for me. It really isn't. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I know everybody's gonna be so upset, but it truly is just. See, this is actually the opposite of Starfield, right? I enjoy playing Starfield. I love everything about it. Except I think it's missing a lot of the quality aspects of it. Like, Starfield has my personal enjoyment very high, but a lot of the quality aspects are missing, which lowers my personal enjoyment. I love a lot of its quality aspects of Zelda, which is why it's this high. But because of my personal enjoyment, it goes lower. So it's kind of like the opposite. But both games I do think are really fun, and Zelda is, of course, a great game. But for me, it was pretty good. So there we go. For my 2023 video game tier list, do you have like a little awards video coming out within the first 2 weeks of January of next year? Don't know exactly how the concept's going to work, but keep an eye out for that if you want to talk more about 2023 video games. Just again, like you can see, there were a lot of great games. But I think in terms of like my favorite games, there wasn't all that many that I would consider one of my favorite games. And honestly, I don't think there were many that I would consider a masterpiece outside of, well, honestly, you take away remakes or remasters, there's only one new game that I think was a masterpiece, and I think that was Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, so I think in terms of quantity, it's there. I mean, it really is there. It's stellar. But I think in terms of quality and my personal enjoyment of a lot of the games, I don't know. I mean, it was definitely great. That's for sure. It was definitely great. But I don't know if I'd consider it one of the best years ever. But quantity-wise, oh, man. It was on another level. And I haven't even played everything. Look at all these in my backlog. Who knows? This could be here. Who knows? This could be here. Like, you never know. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know when I learn more. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Well, that sucks. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely leave a like, leave a comment section down below provided, and please subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. G.A.M.E.R out. Peace.